Hey everybody, welcome back to my BTO diary, and today's topic is what is Blender? But actually, I think the real topic is why Blender. So I'm just gonna jump really quickly to my main screen, and this is the Blender website which I told you to download Blender from. So if you actually read through the entire website, you can see that it's free and open source. And basically it has a bunch of information like the Cycles render engine, model sculpt, UV, VFX, story, art, whatever. And basically what Blender is, it's actually a 3D software. What this software aims to achieve is to become one software to do everything in the 3D production pipeline. So if you're asking what is the 3D production pipeline, there's this really awesome drawing that this guy Andy Bean did, which is actually pretty accurate to what the 3D production pipeline is. So this is the resized image of the 3D production pipeline, and it's really just trying to explain that before you see the final output in the movies or the TVs, it has to go through a bunch of steps, and all these steps you see here, Blender is trying to achieve in a one-stop shop solution, so you don't have to do different things in different softwares. So for example, compositing usually is done in this software called Nuke. 2D VFX motion graphics, it's done by other softwares, sometimes even After Effects. And then maybe color correction, it's done in Avid or Premiere or some of these softwares, and then it gets exported out to the final output, which is what you see. And even Blender can do all these things inside Blender, so you don't have to jump around to different softwares. And of course, it can basically do everything here already. So I mean, this image just shows you the power of Blender, which is completely free. So I mean, if you can make an animated shot out of Blender, you can definitely use this free software to visualize your home. I don't see why you can't, because it's just one frame, and we are talking about entire movies that could be made using this software. So yeah, definitely Blender is the way to go. So I think for now, I'll need to explain certain terms because I'll be using it quite frequently in the tutorials. And the terms are modeling, texturing, lighting, and rendering. So all we need for the visualization, it's these four things out of everything in the 3D production pipeline, because that's really all it needs. So it's going to be really easy. I'm going to show you how easy it is to work on these things. And I'm just going to start explaining what modeling is. Whenever you open Blender, you see this cube, right? And what modeling is, think of it as sculpting. So you have, a cube of clay, and you will slowly sculpt it into something else, into a bowl or plane or car or Godzilla, whatever you want can be created from this simple gray cube. And that is the modeling process. The next step is texturing, and as you can see in the image, this is really well done. So modeling is like, you see you're sculpting this bunny right here, and then texturing is basically painting the bunny. So you're putting images over it, you're coloring it, in simple terms, coloring is what I would say, but also maybe, adding materials on it. So like the rabbit has like shiny fur, so how do we add shiny fur onto the rabbit? So sort of what we're going to do in the house tutorials, how are you going to lay tiles on the floor, stuff like that. That's called texturing. The next step is lighting. So what is lighting? It's lighting. So you basically add lights in your scene, because light, you need to see with light, right? Because without light, you can't see anything. So that's just what lighting is. You just add lights, and you sort of tell the software on what color light you want, what's the power, that sort of things. So you can sort of visualize how it would look like with the sun coming in, sun rays coming in from the window, stuff like this. So that's lighting. And last but not least, rendering, which is actually the process of the computer drawing out the image for you. So after creating your image here, adding colors, and then you put lights to light it, rendering is the process where your computer draws out that final image for you, and you can just print it, put it in your bedroom, show it to people, stuff like that. So it's basically outputting a final output in that sense for you. And I'll be covering all these 4 steps in the tutorials. So I should mention right now that I am on a 1080 GTX NVIDIA graphic card. And if you have something newer, that would be totally awesome. If you have the latest RTX cards, Blender is going to be incredibly fast for you. And if you have something older than this, you don't have to worry too much, because Blender was sort of made to sort of support older cards as well. So don't worry about this. We'll go through the settings with you when you get there. So yeah, this is something I just have to mention right now. So if you have any other questions, do drop them in the comment section below, and do subscribe if you want to get notifications whenever a new video drops. Thank you.